And I have went and pulled up the magazine, which we have the article for getting the jerseys retired. That article ran in the 2018 edition of the magazine. And I have a list of, at that time, of every player from HISD whom had their jersey retired and also what year it was retired in. And as of 2018, Austin High School, I go in alphabetical order, had no jerseys retired. We're talking about in boys basketball. Bel Air High School had one jersey retired, and that's Toby Oyedeji. Was the year he came out in 2010. That's the young man, Toby, who tragically lost his life driving home from the prom. He had signed with Texas A&M. He was a month away from leaving to go to school, to go off to college, and he fell asleep while doing an all-night sit-in at the prom at one of the restaurants or whatnot. The school sponsored prom was, they lock in. So Toby, they honored him in 2010. Chavez High School, and of course Bruce Glover spearheaded and ignited that. Once again, the sitting head coach. Chavez High School, believe it or not, Chavez has 4 jerseys retired. 4 from Chavez High School. That school didn't open up until 20 years ago. 4 jerseys retired, and those are Jared Marie, Jamal Fenton, Easy Aquari, Robert Martinez. And they were honored not at the same time, in different intervals. These young men's jerseys were retired before they even finished college. Well, sorry, 2 of them were, and 2 of them wasn't. Jared Marie and Jamal Fenton were honored within 2 years of graduating high school. Easy Aquari and Robert Martinez, 2016 and 2017, respectively. Jeff Davis High School, which is now Northside High School. Jeff Davis has 2 players resign. 2 jerseys retired, right? Jeff Davis has a guy, Slater Martin. This is a white guy that played way back in 1943. They retired his jersey in the 70s, right? Now, Carl Crawford, who played at Jeff Davis in 1999, he had his jersey retired in 2007. Daniel Jones High School, Daniel Gibson remains the only person who has his jersey retired. And he graduated in 2004. They honored Daniel in 2009. Cashmere High School, Lamar High School, Robert E. Lee High School, which has now been changed to Wisdom High School, has no players with their jersey retired. I'll say it again. That includes Cashmere High School has no jerseys retired. And once again, the active coach has first dibs on implementing that process. Why certain players from Cashmere High School for basketball wouldn't have their jersey retired is beyond me. But if you are enthused about making a change, then get on up. I've contacted them when I did this article. That's how I know these numbers. But that's another coach. Now they have a new coach at Cashmere. Maybe he would be more receiving or proactive from that standpoint. Madison High School has Greg Kite, Greg Wise, Sean Gay, and Tommy Mason Griffin. All 4 of those were honored in 2016. Once again, Greg Kite, Greg Wise, Sean Gay, Tommy Mason Griffin. Madison has 4. Milby has only 2. Rob Williams was in 2005. Alton Ford was in 2018. Reagan, Sam Houston, Scarborough, Sharpstown, Sterling, Booker T. Washington, Westbury, Westside, Worthing. Those schools have 0 jerseys retired. So that means Sterling, there's no Clyde Drexler jersey retired there. Clyde Drexler, hey, it ain't like Clyde had a type of high school career that many people remember him back at Sterling. That would generate his jersey come hanging from the Raptors. But sometimes it's what you do afterwards.
Oh, he did. Clyde didn't have a good high school career.
Not a great high school career. Clyde was. People know that Clyde was Clyde was like a Jimmy Butler. If I had to make a perfect comparison, Clyde Drexler was a Jimmy Butler of Houston. And if you ask anybody that's watching right now, they can attest what I'm saying about Jimmy Butler. I mean, he's a guy that was good. Body was right, but he was right at turning the corner and didn't get better until each year in the upcoming years after leaving high school. Okay. But he wasn't one of those guys that was like Clyde Drexler. We're gonna play Clyde. We playing. Oh, they got a guy with a Jerry curl named Clyde. Okay, And Waltrip High School.
Clyde had a curl. Clyde had a curl.
Yeah, he had the soul glow.
Like Robert Reed. He had one of Robert Reed's.
Yeah, he had one of Robert Reed.
Okay. Okay.
So how about this? You guys remember Waltrip High School? Think about this. Field Williams is the all-time leading scorer at Waltrip High School. His jersey ain't retired. Field Williams went Division I. Field Williams went to Cincinnati. Back when Cincinnati was fly because they had the Jordan package, the Jordan brand package. When Bobby Huggins was the head coach.
Okay.
Field Williams went there. His jersey ain't retired, but Kenzel Bolton jersey is retired. I said it again. Kenzel Bolton jersey is retired at Waltrip.
I don't know Kenzel.
He may be he's not because they had some kids from Chavez. I was just say he might be the only guy that's jersey in HISD that will be retired that wasn't a Division I player. Kenzel Bolton.
So it don't take. Okay, you know what, Jimmy? I'm glad you said that. Well, guess what?
Let me give you. I got 2 more schools. Wheatley has Dwight Jones, and Jack Yates has Joseph Young, who was honored in 2017, and Carvin Holcomb was honored in 2018.
Coach, thank you, Jimmy. You just gave me an idea, Jim. You just mentioned a school that near and dear to my heart. I'm finna go over there and talk to Coach. I got to call Coach.
Now, in this article, Hatter, check this out. I'm gonna read you a part from this article, and this is in the magazine. Here's the article, guys. It was titled "Give Them Their Flowers."
This was last year.
And I wrote this article.
This was last year's
Give
book.
Them Their Flowers, and this is the list that I read off of right here. Of the that I was reading off of. Here's a piece of this article. West Side head coach Dion Williams confirmed his plans to honor as many as 7 ex-players during the 2019 season. You might need to call Dion and find out, because your son went to West Side High School, and normally he said he's gonna honor as many. He had planned to do so. That was last year.
Coach, I don't.
Or 2 years ago.
All I know, in the locker room, you go in the locker room, they got his picture up in there. But that's a good one. I'm glad you told me that, Coach. Hey, Coach, let me call old Dion. See, I'm gonna do like them other people. I'm gonna see do they need a gift for the program?
Remember, the names that I read to you guys, I'm gonna give you the disclaimer. This is from the article that was written in 2018. Some of these schools may have added names since then. But and I'll read another piece of the article from over at Wheatley High School. On July the 25th, 2016, Dwight Elmo Jones, one of Wheatley's most decorated players, passed away. Approximately 4 months later, a ceremony was held to retire his jersey. The community did a great job by making a decision to honor the legacy of one of the 3-time state champion who averaged 28 points, 24 rebounds, 2 record during his 3-year career at Wheatley. Remember back then you couldn't play, 9th grade was junior high. You only had 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Coach, I'm trying to find that article, Coach.
And so Coach Lonnie Reynolds Jr., who had a hand in the process of honoring Jones, plans to duplicate the feat very soon. This is according to Lonnie Reynolds Jr. This was back in 2018. Here's what he says. Eddie Owens is next. We will be doing it in 2019. Class of 1973. And there will never be any conversation about HISD's greatest to ever play on the high school level without saying his name. And great conversation. This article, guys, we want I don't know if I still have the electronic version. I may. Just send an email to chopshophtx@gmail.com.
I must have the wrong book.
htx@gmail.com. No, it's in the one from 2018. Now, this
one
right here.
Okay.
You have a copy of this.
Who on the front?
This one right here. This one right here.
Oh yeah, I got that. I got that somewhere. I got to go on my archive.
Page 56. Mm-hmm. If you have this magazine,
okay,
it's on page 56 with and I'm this is one of the things, guys, and I'm like, sometimes the magazine, some good articles. This stuff comes back and it comes back in style. Some of these articles age very well. And there you go. Turn to page 56, Al, 56. And you're gonna send a picture, take a screenshot with your cell phone and send that West Side High School and ask him, Coach, what's the update on this right here? Let him know, let him tell you what's the update.
I'm asking what the update. Yeah, I see it. I can't wait. I'm gonna say, Coach, what's up, Coach? That's my man. Coach, what's up? Did we make the top 7? I know on his watch. Before Robert came, they had never been in the playoff before Stephen Briggs. So,
guys, understand something.
That's crazy.
Of course, you don't expect the season.
No.
Pretty much gone.
No.
2021 to 22. There's going to be. I would personally remember. I had this conversation with Greg Wise. And he was letting the alumni get involved with those because he didn't understand. Some people don't like person to just step and take control. Some people do. But Ricky Winslow's jersey will be retired at Yates. Michael Young's jersey will be retired at Yates. Then you're going to move forward and move on upward. And you can expect
Carvin to be next.
But Carvin Holcomb is already done.
He is?
So that's probably why some people may be pissed off.
Wait a minute, Carvin number is done? I did not know that.
Look in the article. Look on page 57.
Man, I ain't have my glasses on.
Look on page 57 at the chart.
I had to put my glasses on to be looking at that little writing you had.
They did Carvin Holcomb in 2018. They did a year after Joe Young.
You talking about my jersey? Hell no. I was a bit player. Hold up, man. Let me look. Oh, them glasses show looks a lot better with these glasses on. Boy, I can't wait. Yeah, Carvin Holcomb right there. You're right. Man. All right.
Now, mind you, once again, this was back in November of 2018. It doesn't mean that some schools may have modified and added since then. So I don't know. But as of that date, that's the list for HISD.
Wow.
That's it. As of that date.
I just text Coach. I just text Coach. I can't wait to talk to him. Yeah, I guess I did. Coach, Jimmy, you should see, Jimmy, my bad. I didn't read the article. If I'd have read the article, I'd have talked to him about it a long time ago. He told me I put my glasses on. Oh no, I'm taking them glasses back off. Yeah. No, hey.
How about Booker T. Washington has no jerseys retired?
Booker T. Washington.
Worden High School. Think about it, Al. Big Daddy Latin played at Worden High School. Glory Road.
Forget Latin. How about Cadillac? That's my man.
Cadillac Anderson played at Woden High School.
Yeah.
Their jerseys ain't retired.
Hey, no, I'm telling you, these bifocals. I have this one, some at the top and at the bottom. I need them, Jimmy, to see far and to see close, man. Hey, I'm sorry, y'all. My eyes just ain't that good like it used to. But that is
I mean, that's a good
time.
Read, guys. Good read.
Hey,
So like I say,
look who came on the feed, get to running talking about the Vikings, Jimmy. We don't even talk about. Hey, I whooped Jimmy so bad. Jimmy don't even talk about football no more. We gonna have to wait the next year. We gonna wait the next year.
We wait till the bowl season. We get back in on this bowl season. These college bowl season, we get back in.
Oh, okay, bowl season. Not the playoff.
We got back in on the bowl season.
Not the playoff.
And
no, I'm just kidding. But something else happened. What else you had, Jim? I think I had something I wanted to share with y'all.
Oh no. The basketball game.
Which one?
This past weekend. If you missed it last week, I was taking all bets for a bottle and cash on the Houston versus Dallas that took place this past Friday at Legacy, the School of Sports Science. Mm-hmm. And Shadow Creek played Faith Family out of Dallas. Legacy played Duncanville shortly afterwards. Legacy, I want to give a thumbs up and tip my brim to the staff and administration and the media department for doing a great job at following most of the protocols and easing the fears that were flowing throughout the community, creating concerns of whether it would be a safe atmosphere based on the limited seating that's already inside of the Coliseum. Well, let me tell you guys something. From the time you approached, not even got into the gym, before you approached the outside doors, there were signs up saying the game was sold out. That means let you know if you don't have a ticket already, just go and turn around. So once you got in, there was a hands-free process, and I have never seen this part. You had to get your cell phone, Hannah, and put over the barcode at the front door.
Yeah, so they wouldn't touch your phone. Yeah.
And the barcode will ask you three questions. You have to tap on your own cell phone. Yes. And then you have to put your email address. So now they get your info. You put your cell phone and or your email address in that. So that's a process where they get your intel in exchange for you coming into that gymnasium. You do this, have to ask you COVID questions. Do you have a fever? Do you have this? Yes, no. Whatever. No. 3 questions. Now, once you do so, then you are cleared to proceed into the gym, because they will automatically show if you had paid already or not. You will show your code. Well, young lady, if you're media, that was the young students in that media department. Shout out to Alfio Vizi for a great job of keeping those students, and they're professional. Sir, they escorted you to your seat, because if you were media, you had to request a credential in advance. So they already knew where every person that had been approved was going to be seated. They walked you directly to your seat. Then the young ladies will ask you, if anything else do you need.
Wait a minute, this happened. Where did this happen at? At Legacy?
At Legacy, before the game starts. They walk you.
So that's a lot of work. So y'all better get there early.
Even when you get I got there right before the tip off, right at about 4 minutes before tip off.
So you saw both games. You saw both games.
They saw both games.
Okay.
And still the young ladies in that department, the media, the communications department, no matter who it was, if you were media, they escorted you to where you needed to be, where they already had designated seating.
Okay.
After the game, They came and got the media, one different people like the ones that the students, and escorted you to the interview room. They supplied a coach and a player after every game.
How far away from the people were they? Because the
No,
NBA.
all the people had to leave out
No. How far were you
between
from?
games.
From how far the?
This is a separate room. A separate
No,
room.
no, I'm talking
and
about in a
you'll see
room.
The coach and the player is at a table that's set up.
Okay.
With a drape over it, and you're at the back of the room about 10 feet, 12 feet away, where the media asking their questions. Basically, they on one wall and you on the other wall. In a nutshell. Okay. So that's the interview process, which you got I get a chance to talk to them and which was kind of cool. It was like professionals, kind of like it's set up, like it's really set up when you go to high school.
I like that
championship.
I love to know how they came up with that. That's a story one day. But keep going. I like that.
Well, I mean, understand those kids are in a real program, in a media program, so you have to make it as close as you can, right? Close as you can.
I don't know if you know
the real thing,
the NBA.
And so you made me think about it. Now I have my notes. I had to go and pull out my notes.
Can you hear me, Jimmy? At all? Can you hear me at all? Okay. No, I was just trying to figure out because I'm watching the NBA and I'm watching the NFL and how all of their press conferences are virtual, and I was just wondering when y'all were in the room, I was just wondering about that. Why they could have had a virtual? Could it possible to have a virtual?
They could have had a virtual, but I just think that probably was by it being on campus and by the the way that they did it. It was pretty much they, other than the media members themselves, and everybody had their mask on.
Okay.
Other than that, they had space between between everybody in there. You understand? We're only talking about maybe 3 to 4 people that were asking questions. And then the other 2, one player and one coach, and they got a chance to that first game, Summer Creek. It was a tight game. Summer Creek it's kind of like how the second game was. Summer Creek was in total control. Fate family made a furious rally in the closing minutes to cut the lead down to 1, and then Summer Creek ended up prevailing in 3-71. Yes, the second leading scorer from Fate family, the second leading scorer, did not play. He did not. He's been hurt, and they're expecting him back in the next couple of weeks. As for Summer Creek, not Summer Creek. I'm saying Summer Creek, Shadow Creek. They are still waiting to football season to end to have 2, possibly 3 of their key players will be joining their lineup. This Shadow Creek game, Sean Jones came out hot in the first quarter. He had 3 threes. Ramon Walker has put even more distance between himself and the rest of his 12th grade peers in the Greater Houston area. Ramon, he had 30 last week. He had 29 in this game, and
he's number one. He's number one in that class.
Yeah. And guess what? It's not even close.
Right. Yeah, he is. He's
at
separating
this
himself.
point, and that's why I'm proud of. He's leading on the court. Kids are responding to him. He's because he didn't talk as much before, and it was kind of that.
He talked a little last year, Jim. He talked a little. You just didn't hear him. He talked a little last year.
I just didn't hear.
I never forget. I said something to him. He said something on the sideline. He said, "Like who?" I said, "You can't guard him." He said, "Who? You talking about me?" All right, okay. So I love Ramon. And one thing I love about Ramon, he announced his commitment to U of H right on the Chop Shop. So I'm gonna always have a certain affinity for Ramon. He just a great young class personified, and Jimmy, he gonna fit in good with that culture at U of H. And guess what? Soon as the U of H game on, he tweets about his future teammates, and so it's I can't wait to see that. But what else? What else happened out
Yes,
there?
and
What
you know
happened?
what? I asked him. I asked Ramon Walker in the press conference after the game,
Okay.
and I presented a couple of questions to him. Matter of fact, they had two players and one coach. They had Ramon, Sean Walker, Sean Jones,
Sean Jones.
and the head coach from Shadow Creek there. And one question I asked him that was asked of him in the interview room was about his being on the court and his leadership and what's going, and I think one of the other young men asked him, and Ramon Walker responded that one of the things that motivates him is that he still doesn't feel that he gets enough credit or respect around the state. Okay. And he often goes into the games. He say he could play good when he playing mad. Normally it's taught normally not to play mad, but he says he often plays like mad with a chip on his shoulder.
It's a new term. It's a new term now, Jim. It's a new term. They call it playing angry. But keep going.
Well, he said the word mad. That's probably what he meant. Yeah. He probably wasn't meant he was just mad at the world.
Right.
But he played with a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He does it all the time. Mm-hmm. And you could see it in him that when he was talking, it was a sense of unfinished business. He wasn't like relieved to have just beat Fate Family. I'm just telling you the vibe I got watching, because I'm studying the human behavior patterns of the young fella. Mm-hmm. And so watch him. Sean Jones.
Mm-hmm. How did he do?
Remember, he was in foul trouble.
Okay.
Again, Hannah. Mm-hmm. He was in foul trouble. Let me tell you something. He picked up his second foul with a minute to go in the first quarter. Sean Jones did. He did not touch the court in the second quarter. This is your second leading scorer. This is your tallest player on your team. Your most athletic player on the team. Mm-hmm. He did not touch the court in the second quarter. Right? Mm-hmm. Then also, so that means he comes in the third quarter, 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the third quarter. Guess what? Sean Jones picks up his third foul. Guess what happens 30 seconds later? Yeah. With the 5 minutes and 9 seconds to go in the third quarter, Sean Jones gets hit with a tech.
That's a foul.
He was bumping to the Fate Family bench, walking by the bench, and made a comment. Referee was in earshot, which, being that that's Houston, sometimes a ref can hear but act like he don't hear. He hit him up. Fourth foul and a tech. So he's going back to the bench for the last 5 minutes of the third quarter. You hear me? So that means he played the first 7 minutes of the game. He had 3 trays. Did not play the next 9 minutes. It only played 2 minutes and 15 seconds into the third quarter. Had to sit the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds of that. So that means, understand, then he came in to the fourth quarter and he hit 3 key free throws to preserve the win. So literally, this Shadow Creek team had to get it done and hold off this team.
So that was a close game too.
Yes, without Sean Jones putting his fingerprint in the second and third quarters. They had to play with him. They basically had him the first quarter and the fourth quarter. And that's when I say Ramon Walker took up the slack and kept going. Not just Ramon, but the rest of the team. They put some 10th graders in there that got some stuff done. Cam Woodbury gave him some good minutes.
Cam Woodbury, I saw that name. I saw that name somewhere. I guess on Twitter or something. Jimmy, who is my young guy, Jaden Johnson?
Now,
Jimmy, who is
Jaden Johnson?
From
That's a
St.
young
Pius.
fella at Summer Creek.
No, from St. Pius. Wait a minute.
Oh,
just
that's
something-
the former city councilman's son,
Who?
Johnson. What's his name? The city councilman. That was a city councilman. Now he's in the House of Representatives. Now he's in the
Jarvis?
state House of Representatives.
Tell me,
Jarvis Johnson. That's his son.
Oh, okay. The reason, no.
that's his son.
Jason Johnson. I'm sorry.
That's his son. That's Jarvis's son.
Okay. I saw some video, Jim, and he can rap, he can do a little something with that. You know, I love guys that can handle the basketball, and he put the ball between the big fella legs, the big fella from Premier Academy. He put it between his legs, and he went by. I mean, he was just slick with that ball. So I told him I like that. I like him. I haven't seen him play, but I like him.
He played two sports, football and basketball.
Okay.
And the father put him in St. Pius for the 40-year plan.
That's okay. Great.
And he's in the 40-year plan. So that's why you don't see his name out there and all of. He's a good player. That's steady getting better.
Okay.
He's a 12th grader now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But you understand? I mean, and St. Pius, we had them. Remember, they just emerged from a bout with COVID-19.
Okay.
That program.
Okay.
They had been shut down up until maybe they just came off. So, I mean, it's a lot of good talent out there. But don't forget, guys, the recaps from the Shadow Creek and Fate Family game will be posted on rcssports.com.
As my nephew showed up, have my nephew showed up to practice yet? If anybody, no, okay, I'll just check. My nephew still ain't showed up.
And then also, we want to give you guys news on that second game. I mentioned 3 overtimes. I don't want to give you too much of what happened, but it was definitely a thriller. And I mentioned that a lot of people that were, here's what I said before the game even started. And I was telling people at the table in the press room. The city of Houston wants Legacy to beat Duncanville.
Of course.
But the state of Texas needs for Duncanville to win. And you
wait a minute, wait, yeah, what do you mean by that? Because you know I was about to say something.
Well, the state of Texas needs Duncanville to win because the win by Duncanville keeps them undefeated. It keeps them on. It keeps the pedal to the metal for their quest to go to an undefeated season.
And a national.
So right now, if they
ranking.
lose, they tumble down the rankings. And Legacy damn sure ain't gonna go in the rankings because they just lost 2 games last week. So Legacy was have lost 3 of their last 4. They're 5-3 on the season. So once again, Houston wanted Legacy to beat Duncanville, but the state of Texas, that includes Houston, needed for Duncanville to win that game.
I want a Legacy win.
For the big scope, the big picture.
I want a Legacy
big picture.
I want a Legacy.
You know what I'm saying?
I wasn't looking.
Once again,
I ain't gonna tell you no lie.
To win,
I wasn't looking at the big
needed
pitch.
Duncanville to stay undefeated.
Sometimes,
because otherwise, we don't have not a single team that's going to scratch the surface in the USA Today.
I got
top
you.
25 ranking.
I got you.
We have nothing. So that means now, remember how we talked at the top of the show about how people were laughing a year or 2 years ago when Texas had no teams in the top 25? That's how people look over at Texas when they see nothing about high schools are there. So that means our best has to represent, which they did.
And you know what I love about it?
Duncan.
It was a 1-point win, but at the end of the season, ain't nobody going to be thinking about it as a 1-point win. We were a layup, out of bounds play. Your young fella got it and could have put it in. He just put it in too high, too excited. That would have, come on, man. Yeah. So, but Jimmy, does Legacy, because I know you remember, you came on this show, you said Legacy, you got to win. You can't just be scheduling these games, you got to win. Does that help them a little bit, that game? I know they didn't win it, But did it help him a little bit? Did you give us a little nudge? Did you give us a little nudge?
After the game, if you go into the VIP news on RCS Sports, one of those young ladies from the media department at Legacy, the students, wrote an article. She wrote an article, a recap of the game.
Oh, she did? Okay.
And emailed it. And I have, and I understand this is in the VIP news today.
Okay.
On rcsports.com. And I'm going to tell you something. This article, what this young lady wrote, she's rooting for, understands, article from Legacy about Legacy, about
it's Legacy slanted, like the beat writer for the Houston Rockets going to write for the she's supposed
makes it be known.
Yeah.
But at the same time, even my thing is the damage is done now. Of course, Legacy, they're going to play a couple of other national ranked teams, but it don't matter what they do now because they have too many losses on them.
How many
losses? Have to actually blow out. They would have to actually blow out UC Prep. Didn't have to come back on New Year's Day or whenever they play Sunrise Christian. They would have to blow out Sunrise Christian to even understand. Not a 1-point win, not a buzzer beater. You would have to manhandle Sunrise Christian.
Wait a minute. Sunrise Christian. That ain't where the little
Sunrise
guard.
Christian's going to be ranked in the top 5 in the country.
Wait a minute. That ain't where the little guard from Memphis go to. We're going to get him on the show. The little guard from Memphis go to Kennedy Chandler, the little kid that won the EYBL. I think Sunrise.
I'm not sure if he had Sunrise or not. I'm not sure.
He had one of them school because he dunked on somebody. He made Sports Center the other day. He ain't but 5'11", and he put some 7-footer in the rim so hard. But he going to Tennessee. He's not going to Memphis. I hate that. But
and in the VIP news. This article from the young lady, her name is Jada Davis.
What up, Jada?
Student ambassador, Jada Davis. And it's a great article. She mentions Duncanville and their players and Damon Nicholas. Damon Nicholas scored 27 points in that game for Duncanville, right?
Okay.
Ron Holland, the 10th grader, scored 21 points, including a key